Okay. What's the period? Does anyone have the period? 120. Does anyone else have the period? Okay, let's quickly see if we understand how he gets to that, because it's, thank you, Jade. I think the challenge lies with reading this thing. Okay, so given f of x equals, what is that, minus 3 cos x. So what is this? This is a function, right? So this is a graph. Okay, f of x is minus 3 cos x. So if you had to draw this, it would be a cos graph that's upside down and starts at minus 3, because the amplitude is 3. If it was positive 3, it would have been a graph that looks like that, and this would be 3. Yeah? And that would be minus 3. Now the flip thing means that you just turn it around. That's what you're looking at. So they are asking you, what's the period of f of 3 of x? So what is f of 3 of x? F of anything means whatever I put in the bracket means I'm substituting it where I see an x everywhere in the function. So if, for example, if I want to know what's the y-intercept of this graph, I would say put x equal to 0. In other words, f of 0. Okay, I'm not teaching you how to work with, because I know you don't work with this often. So you would say minus 3 cos of 0. What's the cos of 0?
0.
Really?
95.
Really?
95.
1. Okay, so use a calculator if you're not sure. That would be minus 3 times 1. So f of 0 is minus 3. And that's the y-intercept. Which makes sense because when you draw it, the graph starts there. Where does it cut the y? At, sorry, drawing the wrong graph here. The upside down graph. So the y-intercept is minus 3. Okay? So it checks out. Are we still together, people? We haven't done the sum yet. I'm just going over some basics. So, in other words, if I ask you what is f of 3 of x, it means I must substitute 3 of x in the function. So f of 3x rather, is equal to minus 3 cos of 3x. Do you see how that works? So so this is input-output values. Okay, I input stuff in here, and it kicks out whatever's on that side. So I input 3x, so wherever there's an x, I must put 3x. So my function changes to cos of 3x. Now, if I give you the cos graph like that, what's the period of a cos graph? 360. So what's the period if I put, what value is this that I'm adding here? In the standard form. What value is that? The k value, right? Remember, f of x is equal to a, let's use the sine of kx minus p plus q. Standard form. Okay, the k value influences the period. The p value influences shifting on the x-axis. The q value gives you a new y-axis, moves up and down. And the a is the amplitude, stretches up and down. So k, so what do you do with k values if you want to determine the new period? You divide. 360 divide by k. Whatever k is, you divide 360 by k. So you're dividing 360 by 3. That is how we got 120. That is how we got 120. So the period of f of x, or f of 3 of x, is 120.